Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Hebrews
with Kurt Bjorklund.
There's a statement at the end of Hebrews chapter 2 that says he has become a faithful and merciful high priest, merciful and faithful. And we don't really understand the depth of emotion around the image of a high priest. And for good reason, because we really do not live with the sense of needing a priest. But a priest represented God to people and people to God. And all of the Old Testament system about the priest in many ways leads to what is explained so brilliantly in the book of Hebrews, where we have Jesus as the high priest. And here we're told that he is merciful and faithful. So merciful in the sense of coming from God, he is able to say to people, I can be merciful because I have taken your place. And to God, he's faithful because he has taken the place of people. And this is how he is able to help us. To furnish aid is really what the word means in verse 18, because he himself suffered, he was tempted. He's able to help us, to furnish aid, to walk with us. And there's a different word that shows up in verse 16 for help, where it says, for surely it is not angels he helps, but Abraham's descendants. And this means to take hold of, to assist. Now, why do these two words matter? Because taking hold of, assisting, means that what he's doing is he's saying, I am the one who can take you and give you what you need. And to furnish aid means he's supporting. And probably the idea here with these two words isn't to pick on the individual nuance, but to say this help is comprehensive, it's extensive. And so what you and I have in Jesus is one who shows us and comes to us from God and invites us into a relationship based on his mercy. And to God, we have one who's faithful and represents us in a way that says, I am representing you so that you have certainty that my representation is sufficient. In other words, Jesus has done really what almost seems impossible in terms of how people think about God today. And that is, we tend to think about God as either just kind of all love and mercy, and there is no standard, there is nothing that matters. Or we tend to think of God as having this austere standard, and if we can meet it and other people don't meet it, then we're good enough. And what the cross does is it tears down both of those with the perfect in between, the go-between, the high priest who's merciful and faithful. And so today, I just want to encourage you to worship God for doing in Jesus what only he can do, and frees me from an overly sentimental view of God that just says he just loves and accepts everything, or an overly austere God who just punishes and demands. Instead, we have a faithful and merciful high priest worthy of our worship.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.